Hi, this is David here from Wargaming Old Guys, and this is another Get Your Paint On. This is going to be slightly different. We've got some paints from Moonhopper Games. They sent me some paints. And here are the paints. They're the same ones I used for my pink horrors. But this time we're going to be doing some blue horrors. Okay, so these are the paints. We've got base magenta, base pink, base indigo, Coproxide, and Cevian blue. Now, obviously, we're not going to use the magenta and the pink. They were used for my pink horrors, but the other three I'll be using for my blue horrors. So let's get on and let's start doing this. Here is the blue horror. Now, as per the pink horror, it's a 3D printed equivalent. Now, what paint we're going to start off with is the Cevian blue as the base coat. So let's get on and apply that. Now this blue, unlike the pink for the pink horrors, which really required a white base, this is fine. This goes over. This covers quite well. Okay, so that is completely covered. Now we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, so here we have the blue horror. It's blue. As you can see, the paint covers quite well. So we won't be doing another coat. We won't be doing any dry brushing in white and re-going over it. It's just fine as it is. So what we're going to do now, we're going to paint his mouth indigo. Now we're going to do the same colour as the pink colour horrors for the mouth. That's the base indigo. So we're going to do the mouth with base indigo. So let's do that. There we go. I know it looks a bit messy, but we'll get it sorted out, and there's teeth there that need to have bone painted on them as well, so we'll get around to doing that. But we'll let that dry, and then we'll do we'll need to do a black wash. Okay, so I've did the mouth, and then I did I used the Nuln oil to black wash it, to do a black wash. Then I'm going to do some Coproxide dry brush as a dry brush over the top. Yep, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use a mixture of I'll probably do that first actually. Use a mixture of the indigo, base indigo, and this Coproxide to do some details in the mouth, and then we'll do a dry brush over the whole thing of the Coproxide. Not much is viewable, so we don't need to worry about too much. And then we're going to use the Coproxide as a dry brush over the top of the whole thing. Okay, so once that's dry, we'll start doing the gold and the bone teeth. Okay, so now we're going to use the Retributor gold. So the only gold I've got is the Retributor from Games Workshop, or there's a dragon gold or something like that from Tooth and Coats. I just want to use up the Retributor gold, so we'll be using the Retributor gold to paint all the gold bangles and swords. Now I'm going to use the bone white from Vallejo to do the...
This is a bone white from
teeth and
Vallejo. Okay, so what we're going to do, I've got to paint his eye white, I've got to paint the flames white, and then I've got to, I'm going to use a brown wash, I forgot what it's called, I think it's Agrass Earth shade, to do the gold, and then and the bone to get the details on the teeth, and then that is pretty much done. So what I'll do all that, and then I will show you the finished article.
As you can see, you have done a unit of 6 of them. I know there's meant to be 10, and some are still on the painting table, but so here's 6. As you can see, I've used a contrast paint on the flame like I did for Pink Horrors. It's Army Painter Emerald Green or something like that. I've painted the handles of the blade red and highlighted that and things like that. So that's that. The basing material was a Moonhopper Games material, the same as the Pink Horrors. I'll put a link in the description below. I'll put a link in the description below of all the paints used from Moonhopper Games. Yes, overall the blue paints covered a lot better than the pink paints, which I think they made a lot better. So I'm thumbs up for me on that. They were easy to use. They went on well. They covered well. You didn't have to go really thick for it. In fact, I pretty much think I had to water some of them down to get the right consistency, which is I prefer to water them down than to be too watery to start with. One coat did well. Yeah, so overall, yeah, thumbs up. I really like those paints, and I'll be using them again. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and ding the bell for all future notifications for all my videos.